So last but not least today is Caleb. He's been, everyone says he's going to be a millionaire by when? By tomorrow. Okay, good. So we had a lot of fun with Caleb in class this year. Here, his words, he says, I would like to thank Mr. Christian for being my advisor and Mr. Wade for being my rhetoric teacher in my senior year. His title is Robots Have Rights Too. Copyright laws should not restrict AI training. All right, I'll get the timer set up and I'll let you know when you can start. All right, you can start when ready.
The year is 2125, an entire century from today. Flying cars have made traffic an outdated concept. Skyscrapers have holographic signs, and there are many futuristic stuff. You walk to the local supermarket, and you buy the usual groceries, a universal nutrient pill, some futuristic meals, and a cure to cancer. Everything seems normal until you walk to the checkout. Somehow, against all odds, a 9-to-5 human cashier is checking you out on the counter. Like it's 1995. You would expect the future to have AI checkout systems or grab-and-go systems, but somehow, against all odds, it was a human behind the counter. In this era, the world has pushed the boundaries of technological advancements. Yet somehow, one thing remains missing: artificial intelligence. Not because we cannot make one, but because artificial intelligence was hindered by copyright laws. Throughout history, artificial intelligence and copyright laws have advanced to become what they are today. The term was coined in the 1990s by Alan Turing, the father of computers. However, Arthur Samuel formally made the first AI by making a program to learn checkers. In the late 1960s, Harold Cohen programmed one of the first AI tools, Aaron, which created original abstract artworks from other owned artworks, raising concerns regarding the question of ownership in art. Eventually, about a decade later, copyright laws finally officialized such terms such as fair use, public domain, and Creative Commons license, which AI would legally follow. As AI progressively evolved over the following decades, it started teetering copyright boundaries. By the 21st century, the explosion with the internet provided the gateway to machine learning. And by the early 2020s, the emergence of systems like ChatGPT and DALL-E revolutionized AI generation. In recent years, AI generation has become indistinguishable from its human counterpart, as AI often takes millions of data from the internet. As AI becomes integrated into our daily lives, concerns are raised regarding the copyright of AI. As AI rises to replace its creative works, people start to question whether the exploitation of AI might exploit copyright materials. To understand the correlation between AI and copyright, you must understand the structure of machine learning. In short, an AI model will contain a large data structure while pattern matching them in large volumes. People will find such data by extensively searching the web for articles, blogs, and various sources. Through pattern matching the data, AI could mimic humans in their creations. As such, the vast amount of data used in generative AI costs nearly nothing to its creators. Data is really crucial for the mechanics of AI generation, making it challenging its genuinity. As AI becomes more dependent on other people's data, questions start to arise regarding whether they follow copyright laws. Intellectual property, or IP, refers to intelligent creations such as literary or artistic designs that are assigned lawful rights for their inventors. Copyright is a type of IP that protects tangible works. Although copyright laws protect intellectual works AI uses for its training, its usage may fall under fair use. Fair use grants a legal right that allows the usage of copyright materials without the permission under certain circumstances. These circumstances include purposes like criticism, education, research, and other usage deemed fair depending on the things like quantity used, along with the value they provide. The data in AI generation might serve the public interest, which is the ethical use of copyright information. Although fair use might support AI's case in following copyright laws, its generative output might be not considered original. The concept of originality shapes copyright laws to determine the requirement for copyright protection. There's this certain case that emphasizes a work must demonstrate enough creativity along with uniqueness for it to be eligible for protection copyright. The involvement of the author is also important. According to the High Court, original works must show some independent intellectual effort and literary nature for them to receive any form of copyright protection. Although AI's generative content might be technically unique, its pattern matching system makes it essentially a mimic of others' works, questioning its originality. Since AI's rapid development in the 21st century, copyright laws have become outdated for its demands. As AI integrates into today's world, it has become a core part of everyone's daily lives. With AI evolving rapidly, machine learning will be a core system in many fields, like education or healthcare. However, copyright laws might become an obstacle to its progress. AI's machine learning is like a teacher who shares their knowledge based on the information they learn. This will raise ethical issues regarding restricting AI that technically serves the public interest. Without proper flexibility, copyright laws might render a society reliant on AI incapable of benefiting from them. But with governmental support, AI has the potential to be a blessing, becoming a guiding lighthouse that aids ships through the uncharted oceans. There were multiple ways the government addressed the issue of AI's copyright datasets. US and European governments have enforced certain law changes that permits AI's dataset to contain copyrighted materials. Granted, no exploitation occurs. While this decision might suggest a conclusion, the public opinion argues against AI's data use. Moreover, numerous lawsuits have been filed against AI corporations, notably the New York Times, that brought OpenAI, known for ChatGPT, to court for using their literary works. Machine learning could potentially be at risk if the battle between copyright protection and AI's training data is mishandled. Such an outcome will cause AI, the core of modern human progress, to stagnate in potential advancements. With that, copyright laws should not be made against AI's data training because copyright laws will stagnate the growth of artificial intelligence, AI's inherent principles conflict with the nature of AI, and copyright laws will hinder AI's benefit to society. AI relies heavily on various data to train its algorithm. The availability of such data plays a crucial role as a basis for machine learning. Given their restrictive nature, copyright laws will not apply to training data as it will hinder the growth of artificial intelligence. Without copyright restrictions, AI systems can freely access a much better dataset. Access to data is vital for AI since the quality depends on how much data it can learn from. Copyright laws acts like a straitjacket on AI that restricts its ability to maximize its potential. Research has shown that structured and usable data can help AI by reducing the time needed to prepare data. Such a phenomenon is called open data, which refers to data that is freely available, redistributable by anybody. The flexibility of utilizing free information serves as a gateway to more efficient development of AI. With unrestricted and open access to data, researchers and developers can learn more efficiently. The heightened availability of data can fuel innovation, contributing directly to the development of AI. Apart from legal problems of copyright, the addition of laws will increase the entry barrier for upcoming AI developers. Limited access to information will inhibit innovation, making it more challenging for upcoming AI creators to make a new system. Multiple research suggests that free data plays a vital role in nurturing new talent in the AI sphere, without needing to stress about legal issues. As such, prominent AI companies will not monopolize the AI industry, as the only ones able to afford data. History has proven open source systems delivering consistent results in promoting a creative industry, and this can parallel in the AI field if copyright laws remain unrestrictive. As free and open data becomes restrictive, AI creation will return exclusive, reducing the number of contributors to AI as a whole. With fewer developers, AI development will stall, reducing the competition. By decreasing the entry barrier to the AI field will promote a competitive environment, encouraging growth. Ultimately, copyright laws will hinder AI from developing, stops AI from evolving, and prevents AI from inventing. Apart from the potential harm to newer creators, copyright laws will force every developer to construct their AI systems from scratch. Removing copyright restriction can help AI systems to leverage existing models and datasets rather than using stuff from zero. This is crucial for developers since it will enable knowledge to circulate and accelerate progress. For instance, AI developers can utilize already established datasets tailored to specific niches, allowing them to produce their targeted solution. As such, free data helps the AI sphere become more communal, rather than how developers now operate in isolation. By removing the limitations imposed by copyright laws, applying existing models will promote a collaborative environment. Thus, this cooperative synergy has the potential to accelerate AI's growth. Aside from copyright laws already hindering AI's growth, a second reason why copyright laws will restrict AI is that their inherent principles conflict with the nature of AI. This is mainly because of the difference in how AI works compared to humans, meaning traditional copyright laws might not address the issue of ownership in the case of AI. First, AI learns from an extensive dataset to generate unique content rather than just remaking them. They vastly differ from humans who use existing creations to draw upon from. This difference is vital since copyright laws protect tangible form of ideas like text or images, rather than patterns which AI operates in. Our research emphasizes how laws often fail to acknowledge the prospects of AI in healthcare by treating them merely as instruments to process information rather than innovative tools such as patient care or therapeutic design. With the proper treatment from the government, AI, if anything, will lose the proper diverse data needed to create a unique output. Restricting AI to the specific data will limit them to that limited source, ultimately producing a non-unique content. Besides replication, copyright laws will misinterpret AI as a mere generator rather than an innovative and creative tool. The AI system does not generate passively. Rather, AI constantly partakes in the generative process by examining and synthesizing information to create new ideas. Their active contribution appears in many creative areas such as music, creation, or literature, demonstrating their capacity to be creative. AI's potential as a creative tool is constantly overlooked, analogous to a hormone called GLP-1 receptors agonist. This hormone uniquely approaches curing diabetes through physiological means instead of physical remedies. Similar to how AI manipulates data to use unique output, the GLP hormone does not merely mimic the body mechanics, but offers a creative solution through mental means. With AI constantly evolving, copyright laws must assume AI's nature as a creative tool. While AI's content for training might spark controversy, AI's innate need to utilize an abundance of data makes copyright laws impractical. With AI utilizing information from open data, public domain, or open source materials, enforcing copyright laws will unnecessarily complicate matters. This forms a situation where the source material's origin becomes obscure, posing difficulties in providing proper credit. The issue worsens as the growing support for an open source movement for AI systems to promote accessibility. As AI develops to utilize numerous datasets from multiple sources, the existing copyright laws struggle to catch up with the data usage. AI's reliance on a plentiful source complicates the attribution of ownership, creating a situation where copyright protection loses practicality. Aside from copyright laws failing to consider AI's nature as a creative tool, they also overlook AI's benefits. As AI develops, the technology has the potential to solve some of the most critical concerns in society. Given their restrictive nature, a final reason why copyright laws should not limit AI is that it will hinder AI's benefit to society. As AI proves practical and analyzing massive amounts of information, copyright laws will inhibit AI from solving global crises. AI specializes in discerning patterns in repetitive scenarios. A study shows how AI can reduce design errors by identifying patterns and delivering predictions. Because AI can effectively recognize patterns, it can process repetitive issues like climate change and healthcare. For example, AI can help in agricultural sections. In 2019, AI involved itself in an incident that threatened food supplies in Kenya, caused by locusts. Plant Village, an AI startup, used publicly available satellite weather and farmers to predict the locust movements, allowing authorities to successfully put pesticides precisely to prevent further crop damage. Another case shows how in 2019, the Canadian company Blue Dot employed its technology to notice an unusual amount of pneumonia cases in China 9 days before the World Health Organization. Through analyzing new outputs, animal disease, and airline information, the AI predicted the spread of what will be known as the coronavirus. However, copyright laws would limit AI access to certain information, compromising AI development. As such, copyright laws should prioritize global interests over individual protection. While AI can solve global crises, copyright laws hinder AI from becoming an effective educational tool. As technology progresses, the education sphere could also evolve along with the AI advancement. Our research highlights how classrooms can leverage learning AI within classrooms by providing teachers more time to focus on deliveries, by letting AI tools do the administrative tasks. AI can potentially restructure education as a whole due to its automative nature. Moreover, they can effortlessly determine the capabilities of students so that knowledge can be targeted in a certain way to create a better learning outcome. For example, AI can provide learning materials in real time to ensure students can support the requirement at any moment. Such a level of personalization offers an effective approach to education, allowing students to learn at their own pace. As such, lawmakers should reconsider how copyright laws protect the educational information online. Other than AI being competent in education, copyright laws will obstruct innovation in AI. As a publicly accessible technology, AI can essentially economically enable enterprises of all sizes to strive in the market. It can help organizations innovate while AI automate basic tasks. Such a technology levels the playing field and competition in the global market, benefiting everyone. Hoarding and gatekeeping information stifles widespread innovation, but free knowledge fuels the future. Copyright laws must adapt to the realities of AI to promote innovation. A framework that facilitates AI to be publicly accessible will promote equal opportunities in a competitive environment. Ultimately, policymakers must address AI's restrictions to maximize their potential as economic developers. While the assertion above should persuade readers of ways to justify copyright liberation from AI, some might insist that AI's data training is theft because it uses data without permission. Like many other common plagiarism cases, AI utilizes other people's works without giving credit or asking for approval. While this may be true, AI operates with a design to avoid directly reproducing copyrighted content, except if a model is overtrained on a restricted dataset. If anything, this would mean that enforcing copyright laws to restrict training data will cause them to create non-unique content due to insufficient data. Throughout history, the court has always endorsed the usage of transformative content, proven through archives like the Google Books, that is copyrighted content deemed permissible by the law, making AI something similar technically as well. Aside from legal issues AI might bring, critics argue that copyright laws ensure AI will not replace human creators. In the creative industry, AI generators have made it effortless to create art that will otherwise take an artist a painstaking amount of time to complete, such as generating artworks. Although AI might be an issue for traditional artists, AI should be seen as a tool that flourishes human creativity rather than replacing it. New technologies have historically been met with criticism from traditional workers, such as the popularization of the photography in the 19th century against portrait painters. However, photography has evolved to be its own form of art that developed its unique styles, making it more than just being a medium of imitation. Film technologies like CGI has also expanded on the cinematography rather than completely replacing conventional methods. Rather than outright banning the usage of copyright in data training, regulations should focus on finding the balance that deems the final design itself creative or not. This thesis has thoroughly explained why copyright law shouldn't restrict AI data training since it hinders AI's growth, the contradictory nature of AIs with copyright laws, and hindering AI's potential to solve world problems. The slower AI advances, the slower humanity does as well. Restricting AI further is like preventing the potential for another human milestone, analogous to obstructing the early age of the internet. It's like preventing the If you continue to waste legal battles out of the petty reason of ownership, then AI will not be able to contribute effectively to the public. So what should we do as members of society? We regular people should not support the addition of regulations towards new AI. Instead, we should focus on the output, which has more prone to abuse and exploitation. We should focus on how AI might be a negativity to society, but as such, we should also not exploit AI, as we should bring the positivity it might bring to society. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Caleb. Our panelists today are Mr. Tony and Ms. Yasmin. Mr. Tony, do you want to go first?
Yeah. Hello, Caleb.
Yeah, hi.
How are you doing?
Good.
You are successfully present your thesis,
Yeah.
and I really enjoy reading your paper. Actually, I think this is one is quite good for this year. From the thesis that I read. Yeah. So this is very good writing. So congratulations for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Now let me start my question with this one. So can you repeat what is your thesis statement?
My thesis statement would be how copyright law shouldn't restrict AI and its data training.
Okay. So can you define or not define what is copyright law for?
Okay, I guess to define what copyright laws is, I can refer to my thesis again. Basically, copyright laws is a legal right that governments have and people have just all agree upon to grant this legal right over ownership over certain item, usually tangible forms like images, text, or like even real life items.
Okay. So it's really in line with your thesis. In the terms, like you said, let's start with music, art, picture whatsoever that is produced by an AI. Who own that picture or that art part? Please.
As for now, there is not really a law regarding that. So essentially, basically, it's a bit wishy-washy, and mostly in America, it's not permissible to copyright any AI materials. But in Europe, it's a bit wishy-washy. In like Asia, it's just not non-existent. But in Europe, it's probably to do with as long as you use the AI and put enough creative work, enough involvement, then you'll be able to copyright that yourself.
Okay. Good. Now, let me continue with the AI training. Can you explain in the terms of copyrighted law, it means that anything that is creative, someone produce it like literature or books, right? So you want AI to be able to access any of them freely. Is that what you are asking with your thesis? What you're appealing to people?
Essentially, what I'm doing is agreeing with what is happening right now. So basically, how AI works is that they take information freely because it falls under fair use to take information freely as long as you create enough creative work. So it's like there's this also fair use over here also means like you can use other creative works to make another creative work, and you would also have the legal right to that. In the same way, AI can do that, and they can take copyright information, and as long as they create new creative works, then they also fall under that fair use.
Okay. So you are explaining that the current situation is already okay, yeah?
Yeah.
You asking no need to add further law or whatever restriction for AI, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the future, because again AI is something new, and many people still don't know the capability for the future. Can you see any problem if AI is developing and we didn't restrict anything? What will happen to the world with us? Yeah, to us also.
I guess the problem with AI being like developing constantly will probably it being more accessible to everyone, which would also mean that more criminals might have access to it. You can there's many cases right now where old people got scammed by AI voices or AI text or anything like that. But I believe even though that's the case, AI will also improve the police department, will also improve the legal sector and everything. So it will also help people, like it will also help like benefit humanity. And I believe that benefit to humanity is much more better to be looked at rather than its negativity it might bring.
Yeah. So you are always viewing AI as a tool, but it's more than traditional tools. it has more capabilities, just like you said. People
Yeah.
can see this as a traditional tool, so people afraid, oh, you are stealing something, but actually is learning. So this is two different things.
Yeah.
Very good on that. Now, in my mind, I have not a prediction, only a dream perhaps. That could be one day people are enjoying music, movie, whatever that you enjoy in your cell phone, all are created by AI. Do you think that will be, how to say, that will encouraging or cultivating or enhancing the humankind if that happen? Like no real people create anything for social media, for whatever entertainment.
I understand your concern regarding this issue, but I believe that even though AI might be taking over most of the creative sector in humans, and you might think that that's like a bad thing for humankind since we flourish through creativity, I believe that I should look at it optimistically. AI, I think, will be a tool that helps humans do everything that they do. It's similar, like I said in my thesis, I think, about the photography. It didn't like replace every form of art. It just enhanced it by making it like a tool to help people, and it just evolved it in a different way. And I think by AI, like it might replace some of the more traditional works of creativity, but I think it will make people forced to go beyond that and go to a different level of creativity, like what they did with the internet and photography. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you are still consistent on that. I have one more, Mr. Strickland. How does the Bible says about this? Can you explain any biblical worldview related to your thesis?
A biblical worldview I can think of is probably I don't know the exact verses, but it's mentioned a lot of times in Psalms and Proverbs, mostly because there was issues of communal relationships at the time between the Jewish tribes. So they said in the verses that we should always work together and we should always be a communal group. And in the same sense, I think copyright owners of like the literary works or like the images in like the internet should also be working together with the AI creators, and they shouldn't be selfish with their information. And I think they all should work together and just not think of like individual ownership and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Ms. Yasmin.
All right. Thank you, Khalid, for the presentation. Actually, your presentation and then your paper actually kind of like forced me to learn about AI. So I'm kind of like practical AI user. Sometimes I use it, but kind of like Grammarly, things like that. So I use it to check grammar or, yeah, sometimes to check and then make conversation with it a bit. But it's kind of like raising questions for me. So I'm going to ask, I think, from a civilian user. I'm not thinking about that, but in your from your opening, like it's really interesting how you have optimistic view about AI. But if let's say you are satisfied with the present moment right now with how AI grow, then what do you have in mind if let's say in your view, your more optimistic view that can maybe let's say you can have it made, for example, or you have the power to actually change it, what are the things that you are going to change? Because in your paper you said that there's supposed to be a balance in which that you're not going to the value of the creation by human, but AI still have enough data to actually grow. So what do you have in mind in the future, let's say, to make AI grow? We can reap the benefit as the community, but we are not devaluing a human creation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think a way that maybe the government mostly could help in the situation is by forcing laws that will restrict the output of AI. So I will still hold firm to my thesis that AI should be able to take copyright information. But I think the output in itself, where they make new information, like where you ask GPT to like make an essay or like an image, I think that should be much more restricted. And I think by doing that, it will force humans to make it much more to like involve themselves more in the process, and then they both could be in this symbiotic relationship and make a good output together.
All right. Yeah. Positive things. Okay. But I would like to ask then. I only read like several things about AI. Like for example, about the cases like what happened like months ago or 2 months ago about the Ghibli thing. Yeah, I think everyone knows about that. In which that Ghibli is like kind of like a great studio, but AI kind of like absorb it, and then people can use it freely. Yeah, because I remember that case because one of my friend actually draw that kind of thing, and then it takes time. That's the inspiration, right? To copy certain things, but you take like your ideas into it, and suddenly you can just insert some prompt, put some pictures, and there you go. You have the creation. Then this kind of like devaluing experiential value of like you drawing the things then, and so how you are sure that it's not going to make all the songs later on created by AI, pictures, painting, whatever, that it will still have value, and then you still put human being as image of God on top, and then the creation like below, because it's kind of like cheapen things later on, like what Ghibli did. Okay, so yeah, thank you.
Yeah, uh, I guess to give also some to like make you feel better. I also will agree that such things such as the low effort of like the Ghibli art and some other works might be bad for the future. But I think by like as I said previously, if the government intervenes and they force AI output to be essentially like more restrictive, and how people should be involved for the copyright to be for the output to even to be copyrighted. I think it will, even though if people will just start making low effort works, they wouldn't be able to copyright it anyway. In the same way, if you would like take a photo of the painting with a camera, I don't think that will mean anything as long as you have copyright protection over it.
Maybe one more question, if that's possible. No, this is like for me to use AI. Sometimes I notice that sometimes you have to put like certain prompts, and then if let's say you're really good in putting certain prompts, the outcome will be great too. So actually, for us, like normal human being here, we don't have resources to kind of like dabble with AI. What do you think that we should use it though in our daily life though? Because it kind of like take resources either though. It use water, right? If I'm not mistaken, yeah, to keep the. Yeah. So how? What are your suggestions for us civilians to actually use AI, because it's already growing. More people are using it. More companies are using it, maybe for their profits. But how we can use wisely though, if let's say we don't have any power to actually change certain things. Thank you. Yes.
The thing about AI is that the majority of AI right now, even ChatGPT, is open source, meaning every single code inside it is open to the public, and anyone can use the AI itself. So I don't think people will be restricted to like unable to like put prompts or anything. As long as you strive to learn, there's even like new majors right now about AI. As long as you plan to learn about AI more, you can even manipulate and use the AI code itself to make your own AI and even explore the possibilities of it. Thank you.
Okay, just a couple of questions for you, Caleb. So it seems to me that, and tell me if I'm wrong, that your argument sort of is like AI, if you're asking AI to generate artwork, for example, it is doing the same kind of thinking that a person would do. In other words, people saw, if I'm an artist, I look at other art, can't help it. What inspires me, and then I create art. And maybe you could see some inspiration from artists that are online. Is that kind of what you're saying about the way AI is supposed to work anyway, and why you shouldn't copyright training data because it's kind of taking inspiration the same way an artist would take inspiration from others? Does that make sense?
Okay, so over there you said like, can you clarify if you're saying that I'm like contradicting my statement?
No,
Because I
I'm
believe
not
that
saying that. I'm just making sure that are you saying that one reason why AI should not have copyrighted training data is because the way it thinks is really kind of the way a person would think, an artist would think. It's not copying. It's really sort of inspired by lots of data. Is that right?
in a way, yeah.
Okay. So it seems like to me that the more unique the data is that it's trying to make some sort of representation of, the more likely it will create something that looks like it should be, it's a direct copy of someone else's work. For example, and I'm a bird watcher, so let's say that I've got online the only existing photo of a bird, of a certain species, right?
Yeah.
And so I tell AI to generate for me a photo or a painting of this bird. It's going to use my photo, and it's the only one available in the training data, right? And so wouldn't that be sort of like crossing that copyright line in a sense, maybe?
As for how AI works, AI will usually guarantee its output to never be identical or similar to its data that is used. And moreover, that even if it creates an image similar to like your picture of a bird, it wouldn't be copyrighted in any way by anyone since it's not eligible.
Okay, that's a good answer. Well, how about this may be a little bit skirting your thesis a little bit, but if you think about the future, and if that training data that AI is using over time is going to be more and more full of AI-generated data, is that right?
It's a possibility.
Yeah, and so it seems like the more that happens, and it's sort of like, errors that come through the system get amplified because the AI data that it's using as its training data becomes bigger and bigger. Any error in there is going to be amplified over time as the training set gets larger. Would you say that's true?
If the output is being put back into the web and you just keep on using the same data, yeah, it's a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah, and so is that, what do we do about that kind of thing for the future? Is there any way to sort of clean our AI data set, or is there any concern like that? As the future, as we move into the future, our AI that we've depended on so much is getting more and more corrupt with amplified errors just because the training data is being more and more infused with incorrect AI results. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess there's some like ways to counter that situation. One way I could think of, and what's happening recently also, is how ChatGPT can limit its training data to a certain year, let's say like 2021. So as long as the data is anything before that, it will be taken, but anything after won't be taken, which will prevent any form of AI data being put into the training data. There's also ways where you can also like actually just buy data as a professional data creator. There's multiple companies that makes billions right now recently because companies have been paying them to make data for them. And it's an actual job that could be a future prospect job in the future and could even give employment.
Okay, good. Well, we're out of time. Good job, Caleb. Thank you. We're going to, all right, so we'll meet over here for photos with friends, family, and advisor and panelists. And then remember, tomorrow we will start a little bit differently at 9:40 where we begin with